Hi everyone. Apologies for the voiceover, but the wind on the coast at this stage was so strong my audio was unintelligible. So here we are doing some scouting just south of Kalbarri at a place called Island Rock. This provides a beautiful elevated west-facing vista over the cliffs and ocean. So as you can see from the PhotoPills night AR view, the setting Milky Way is in a perfect position for a pano around 3 to 4 a.m., arching sort of from one side to the other. So this is where we'll be returning later tonight. Okay, we've just been out. We got up at 3 a.m. and came out to the coast, to Island Rock, and we didn't do a piece to camera out there because it was howling a gale. We were saying about 30 knots, so we've just taken refuge back in the car after a pretty cold evening. We decided not to do any tracking because the wind was just too strong, but got a nice pano in, and in fact 2 panos. And I think Paul got a pretty good pano as well. So all in all, pretty good evening. And we'll show you, we're about to head back to get a coffee and we'll show you the results now. Okay, we've arrived here at the Lynton Convict settlement or cells, something like that. Is that what you said, Paul?
I think so, from memory.
Yeah. So we're just doing a bit of scouting here. This has got some possibility for an early evening shoot. So we can see, can we see? Oh, that's not going to focus very well, is it? But we can see, looking on PhotoPills, the Milky Way core is rising just above the building at about 8 o'clock. So just sort of up in this region through here.
I'm really liking these bars.
Yeah.
I reckon put some lights in there. You can light up the inside, give it a bit of an eerie effect.
Yep. Yeah, so we're thinking a bit of low level lighting inside the building, and we'll get our shots. Could even do a tracked shot maybe away from the building and blend it in, and probably a bit of then a bit of light painting on the outside to pick up these walls. Could look pretty cool. There's one more spot that we think, or maybe 2, but one more definite that we'll give a try as well. I'll just take you in there now. This is the view on the inside, which is pretty interesting, but not quite the right orientation for what we want to do with the Milky Way. But if we come through into this courtyard sort of area and then push ourselves up against the wall, spin around again, you can see, I think maybe we've got the Milky Way core on PhotoPills lining up quite nicely above the building. So we're thinking again some lighting inside here, and then a bit of light painting afterwards to pick up the textures, because it's quite a rich texture on this wall. And yeah, we think this one could be a second shot, and probably not quite as cool as the first one, but we'll give it a go. Okay, so we're back at the Convict ruins again in Port Gregory. So we're going to do some early evening shots here. So I've got a couple of things going on. One of them is I think we're going to set up for some star trails. So turning you around, I've got two options. One of them is here, which I think it's a shame it's not the most attractive part of the building or aspect of the building, but I think it'll look quite interesting with star trails. Because if we have a quick look at photo pills, you can see that the south celestial pole is pretty much just here, so we should get nice big circular star trails around that area there, which could look pretty interesting. The other alternative is if we go around the front, and I'll show you that view in a second, and come inside the building. We can shoot from inside, but that might just be a little bit tight, and I'm thinking I'm going to use the 14 to 24. I think I'm going to use the 14 to 24 f2.8 lens for that, the Nikkor. That should give quite a nice field of view from either of the whichever position I choose. Okay, so this is the other position that I thought could look quite interesting for star trails. So now we are inside the ruin. And you can see, so in this position we would probably be set up here, and we're probably getting roughly what the 14 mil would get. And again, we've got the star trails will be going around, so that could look kind of interesting as well. So yet to make my mind up on that one, but you will see in the end which way I decided to go. Okay, and this is the other composition that I'm going to have a look at tonight. We've got the Milky Way core is rising up through here, and so we'll get a nice position overlooking the sort of a more interesting aspect of the ruin. And we'll put some lights inside, a bit of low level lighting, and then probably do a bit of light painting as well. So for this one I'm probably going to try two different focal lengths, maybe the 20mm f1.8 Nikon, and also the 35 1.8, and we'll get some do some stacking for the Milky Way, and I may even get a tracked shot of the Milky Way as well, just so to give me some options. So yeah, it's going to be a busy night. We can start shooting about 7 o'clock, might get a blue hour shot with the foregrounds, and then we've pretty much got to be done by about 9:30, 10 o'clock, because by then the Milky Way core has risen to quite high, so it'll be well and truly out of our composition at that stage. So be a pretty busy couple of hours. So we'll just do a quick little setup, get our blue hour shots, maybe then grab a quick bite to eat, and then do the Milky Way.